I'm a day one from my section. It ain't nothing you can tell, 'cause I stay dangerous and keep a weapon. 'Cause I'm a real one from my set. I'm a day one from my section. I was 15, I was there in them trenches. I'm TTG, I was trained to go get niggas that know me know I'm with the business. Don't go back and forth with no niggas.
Welcome to Damu Kiwe Conversations. Niggas rap cat. And that's a fact. Live what I rap, rap what I live. Salute to everybody on YouTube. Salute to the few that's on Clubhouse. I know they're going to be coming late, but that's all right. Y'all hit that like as y'all step in. If you on Clubhouse, share the room. Invite a couple friends. Tell them y'all in the house with Yael and Damu Sims. Y'all be with us. Happy holidays. Gifts, Crips, and Bloods to you and yours for the Damu Kiwe family. Hit those thumbs on your way in. Damu's Crips, Deuce and y'all, man. Salute to Papa Dirt, man. Salute. Hit that like button on your way in. Let me make sure I'm pulling these people up over here. So, G-Mac, what up? Damu Kiwe Conversations for sure. Salute, man. We definitely got the content. So Fat Joe, Joey Crack, BX first claimed that Latinos helped started hip-hop. We're going to get into that as it affects the culture, and this is definitely something we need to speak on. I think it's a even more underlying issue up under the surface, relations with Latino, not all, because a lot of Latinos and Hispanics love us. You know what I'm saying? They empathize with us and support us in overcoming all of the obstacles and fighting for civil rights, human rights. But you have that element that worship the image of the beast. They live by the ideals of beauty of Europeans, the European standards of beauty. Fair skin. Even look at some of the Spanish channels, it's like the darker Latinos are always just left as maids or something like that. But on top of that, Fat Joe doubles down, dig in, and said that the Fba'S are racist. What we gonna get into his comment. We got the content. We definitely looking to educate and find understanding. We definitely don't want to exasperate this subject and create tensions within more tensions than already is in the urban communities where Black and Latinos relations might be sour. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are looking at this immigration situation, especially from within our community, like they're taking our job. But if you was taking the job, then you wouldn't even be worried about what job they taking. Obviously, majority of the time, those aren't jobs that you're willing to take. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole nother subject. Megan Davis, what up? Spirit Wonder, what did he say? Spirit Wonder said, we be Zach. What up, P, Damu Sims, and Yael? Yeah, Yael probably at work, but he'll be pulling up. Hit that like button for show on your way in. You know what I'm saying? Jason Highs, ETE, salute to you, King. RDL, you wasn't at the top today, King. Salute, Damu Sims, Yael in the chat. Y'all smash that MF like button. As I go through these, we're going to play my video. That'll give a little time for y'all to pull up. Let me text his ass, because Yael is the Kiwe pop star, always fashionably late. You know what I'm saying? Always fashionably late. But we're going to get into this as we scroll down as we scroll down the comments, and then I'm going to get into the content, whether y'all here or not. So y'all just bear with us on this one. This is Due Sims. Active Chuck presents Due Sims Light Up. Let's go. For those who ain't seen it, go run that up. Smoked Out TV, salute.
Back where I started from. Don't look back, I'm gone. I remember who I was. I'm not going back where I started from. Don't look back, I'm gone. Light up, if you understand it, light up. You know where I'm coming from. Light up, if you understand it, light up. You know where I'm coming from.
The loyalty, disloyalty, been with this shit toiletry, beef with Crips warrior, I keep a sick sawyer, in the mix, culinary, my whip game legendary, mix cocaine with that cocaine, profits necessary, never snitch, while kids get seduced by Miss Piggy, say my Merca trail nigga, wearing some skinnies, claim real, have you ever faced the L for a body, you know you didn't kill and didn't squill on anybody, have your shirt been stained by the blood of homie slain, niggas you play ball with, try imagining my pain, 10 weights, your man mom fingers you to blame, sin without your influence, her son that never bang.
Remember who I was, I'm not going back where I started from, don't look back, I'm gone. I remember who I was, I'm not going back where I started from. Don't look back, I'm gone.
Dominique, what up?
Light up, if you understand it, light up. You know where I'm coming from. Light up, if you understand it, light up. You know where I'm coming from.
I suffer physical abuse, I'm no stranger to violence. Hung my forefathers on nooses, cops harassed without conscience. Fuck them bastards, racial profile, racial tensions arising, not just SoCal, the Bay, Missouri, all protests. Where we go now, lost hope, find evidence suggests our children's education's inferior. Rich kids get the best, might sound bitter, truth is, all I want is success. For Junior and my sister kids, sacrifice my last breath, seeking progress and change, maybe a permanent address. They'll call home knowing that worse, they have a workplace in West. Is it wrong being black or being born with less into a dysfunctional family? Bloodlines a train wreck.
Remember who I was, I'm not going back where I started from. Don't look back, I'm gone. I remember who I was, I'm not going back where I started from. Don't look back, I'm gone. Light up, if you understand it, light up. You know where I'm coming from. Light up, if you understand it, light up. You know where I'm coming from. If you understand it, light up. You'll feel where I'm coming from.
Hey, let me hear that. Welcome to Damu Kiwe Conversation. We got the content. Well, I got the content. I don't know where the hell Yael ass at. Yael, you getting fired on your day off, King. Shalom, you know what I'm saying? CCTV Clubhouse Crazy. What up, bros? Shout out Deuce, y'all, and the whole Damu Kiwe family. Hey, man, appreciate the support. Appreciate the love. That's one of the OGs of the content creating on YouTube, man, from Clubhouse. CCTV. I need to get him back in the mix because he was grinding. But we finna get into this content, man. Joetic Flacco, you know what I'm saying? It was his content. So we gonna run that. I think I gotta go all the way back. Damn, that's crazy. All right, got it. Hey, everybody hit that like button on your way in. I know people gonna be showing up a little late, coming from the Henny live. Here go the content.
Fat Joe is in some real serious controversy right now. He's getting heavy backlash all across social media from statements he said on the Mav Hoffa podcast. Now, the statements stem from Fat Joe addressing probably the most heated hot topic debate in hip hop right now. And the hot topic debates actually started from a Tariq Nasheed film that he recently released called Microphone Check. Now, in this documentary, Tariq Nasheed would interview people like Lord Jamar and others, and the movie was based on the premise that blacks and blacks only were the original founders of hip-hop, and doesn't feel like it's warranted to include the Asians, the Puerto Ricans, the Dominicans, when speaking about the foundation and the genesis of hip-hop.
Well, you said that Fat Joe is disrespectful for saying that blacks and Latinos created hip-hop 50-50. Do you actually say 50-50?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, that's just not true.
That's not true.
Yeah.
And
shout out to Fat Joe, but yeah. I mean, a lot of Latinos were around, but you can't say 50-50.
Not at all. Not at all. You can't even say 90-10. I mean, they came later.
Before Microphone Check, I just ran with the narrative that the Asians, the Latinos, with the blacks, that we all helped form hip-hop from the very conception. Tariq Nasheed is saying that's not true. All right, now, I never believed it was actually 50-50 because I feel like that's a far-fetched, right? But I always thought, 70-30, 60-40. Tariq Nasheed is saying it's not even 90-10. Meaning, like, blacks created this shit, like 95% of it, and the Asians and the Latinos can share the 5%. That's what Tariq Nasheed is saying. So, Tariq Nasheed would also say, man, that he believes that people even trying to credit Latinos.
Well, we're going to get into why, but I think Tariq Nasheed on bullshit. He understand what clicks get clicks, and I think that's absurd. We had a lot of close ties with Latinos in the Bronx. I researched it. We're going to be showing some of that stuff, taking you back to just the vibe at that time. The Puerto Ricano movement, you know what I'm saying? The Young Lords and their association and or coming under the similar structure as the Black militant Black Panther Party. It was also other organizations. We'll get into some of that today, but COINTELPRO targeted them all, right? So our pain is similar in so many factions, but there is that element that worships white superiority and white supremacy. You know what I'm saying? You can meet some Latins or Hispanics who identify more so with the white Caucasian. In fact, they'll put that in the census. You know what I'm saying? So even the standards of beauty are adopted and put on a pedestal European features and standards of beauty. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's really part of colonization of the mind. So when you do see that, we got to call it out. But I believe Tariq Nasheed is talking about not even 10%. Nah, bro. We grew up in the same communities, whether you in LA and it's with Mexicans and Hondurans, Venezuelan, El Salvadorians, or you in New York in the BX, it's Puerto Ricans, Dominicanos, Trinidad, all of these different Caribbean islanders, they made up those communities. And we'll go into some of that just to prove, because y'all know we do receipts up in here. But let's finish listening with this boy.
And Asians for contributing to the conception of hip hop is a ploy to actually take away credit from Black folks and ultimately give Latinos and Asians the full credit for, forming hip hop and isolating Black people.
So what happens is we let people come in and just take the culture and then turn us into guests in the culture, because that's what they're trying to do with the whole Latin situation. They want to go from Latinos were 50-50 to Latinos actually created breakdancing and Black folks got it from them. That's where it's going. And that's where a lot of people are like, hey, let's put a timeout on this and back it up and tell the truth.
So Tariq Nasheed isn't the only one who's calling out Fat Joe and this traditional narrative that Puerto Ricans, Black, and Asians created hip hop. Actual legendary rappers like Lord Jamar, they're also calling it out. Now, Lord Jamar would say that Asians or Puerto Ricans, they had no role whatsoever in creating hip hop, and this was all Blacks, down from the beats, down from the lyrics, down to breakdancing.
Jose Chavez says on the West Coast, FBAs are irrelevant. Well, I'm FBA and you on my channel right now. So I think that your whole position is nullified by your own statement. You know what I'm saying? And your appearance here, because I'm an FBA. You best believe that. G Muff, let's get back to the content. But I wanted to answer that ignorant.
This was all the works of African Americans, foundational Black Americans, and Ricans and Asians and any other race had nothing to do with it.
Puerto Ricans, do you feel like they played a part in creating hip hop?
Absolutely not.
Wait,
absolutely not. Were they early? Were they the first contributors? Yes. Did they do things to help proliferate hip hop? Yes. Were they, do we have valuable people from the Puerto Rican culture that has contributed? Absolutely. But in the beginning stages of hip hop, in the creation stages of hip hop, this was very much a Black American youth thing that had no outside influences from Puerto Rico or Jamaica or any other.
I want to talk to this dude, Jose Chavez, again, right? Blacks are only 4% on the West Coast, bro. No, we're 8%. But even more than that, what do numbers got to do with it? Just say we are, for sake of argument, you were right that Blacks are only 4% on the West Coast, right, of the population. How powerful do you have to be to still have influence over how people wear their clothes, how they cut their hair, you know what I'm saying, different hairstyles, right, different trends, music, culture? How powerful do you have to be to maintain relevancy and to have that type of influence? Even have you here with us. Appreciate your support, though, King. You know what I'm saying? Let's go.
Other type of place that you may name, the influence is, if anything, we're from down south America. The influences were our parents' music. Like, it had nothing to do with any outside people.
That's where I do get confused, because he did say they were early contributors. Then my question is, how early do you have to be considered one of the founders? Like, if hip hop was started in 1973 and in 1974, I was adding new elements to it, am I not considered one of the founders? Or is it, like, you had to have been there at the first hip hop party, or else you ain't one of the founders? Which, listen, I'm open to hearing that out, right? But I guess I just want like a clearer definition of what is the founder? Because if new elements were added by these people, let's say in 1974 and 75, then are they not founders? I don't know the answer to that. Y'all let me know in the comments.
That's a good question. To say that you helped found it, at what point did it? Do it got to be a year after, 2 years, 3 years? Like, for them to say that they founded it? Well, I disagree that they founded it. I believe that they were integral to the taking off and spread of it, even contributed, like Crazy Legs, famous Puerto Rican break dancer. When you talk about hip hop culture, his breakdancing definitely contributed to that. But hip hop started with the music. You know what I'm saying?
Damu Kiwe Conversations.
From being able to influence people to shake their ass, girls to shake their ass in the club, and niggas to do their slides and little jerks and shit. You know what I'm saying? It started with the music. But even with the graffiti. Now, obviously, I had Mexican friends, El Salvadorian, Honduran that grew up in my community. So obviously, if we had a football team or we had a business, you're gonna have contributions to that culture, period. What kind of hats you wear in this section, and even more. We got the Kiwe pop star in, you know what I'm saying?
I just want to thank Sims for holding everything down, knowing that I'm over here at the plantation. And he gives me a lot of slack for working for old Massa. He be on my back like, you crack that whip for Massa, but you won't crack that whip for us. Nah, man. Sims, bringing them the Don. Hey, man, holding it down with the great content. The title is what it is. You already know how I feel about this topic, man. And, Poetic Flacco is elaborating on it to his discretion. He's saying with his facts, from what it sounds like, Sims, you do agree to what he's saying, correct?
Oh, for the most part.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
They don't take away that he's still a fuck nigga. But regardless of the fact, he is making valid points that, yeah, they play the they have
and on the media, Slimeball TV. My bad.
No, you good, bro. Salute to everybody in the chat and everything. And again, like I said, Poetic Flacco is making valid points, but the facts is this: the whole layout and the base, that base of it being the foundation of hip hop being created, is and is still on the melanated people right now. Now, like Sim said, they do have a valid part of playing in it, not taking that from them, but the creation, the essence of it, that's us, man. 100%, 1,000%, all the way around. You will never be able to get a way around it.
Yep, B Street just imitated the art, even though they had some real break dancers in them on there. Let's get rid of this Poetic Flacco thing. It's only about 7 more minutes.
Now, Lord Jamar went ahead and addressed Fat Joe specifically. He would say that people like Fat Joe claiming that Puerto Ricans were involved in the conception of hip hop, that's just a pipe dream to make themselves feel good.
So why do you think people like Fat Joe and Crazy Legs, they push that narrative? It's like, for me, it's one thing for them to push it, but when you got people like, KRS-One pushing it, yeah, that's crazy, man.
Well, I can definitely understand why people like Fat Joe or Crazy Legs or even a Pete Rock, feel like they would want to push that narrative because that's what they heard.
He said even KRS-One, but I think KRS-One is from Panama or something. I'm not sure. Somebody put that in the chat where KRS-One descend from.
Wait, Goose, real quick. So they're saying KRS-One is quote unquote not a Negro but a Panamanian. Is that what they're saying?
No, what he just said is that KRS-One is supporting Fat Joe and Crazy Legs' position that they help, that Latinos, Puerto Ricans help create, not help create, created hip hop, blacks and Puerto Ricans. And what people are saying, look at Los Coast TV. He said they helped start it, ? Pun went platinum in 1998. it took y'all 25 years to go platinum in something you helped start. Yeah, that's a nasty look when you put it that way. Hey, shout out to Los Coast TV. Let's get back to Joetic Flacco. The Joetic.
Quite frankly, it'll make you feel good. It makes you feel good. You know what I mean? If you somehow believe that you had a hand in something, but then when you find out otherwise, you know, it could make you kind of salty. And it was nice to go with those myths or those narratives when they were put out there and all of that. But yeah, it's just not real.
Fat Joe has been taking this really tough and to heart. Fat Joe has even went out of his way to block any and everyone with the words FBA in their bio, in their tweets. So if you consider yourself a foundationally Black American and you are repping that hard on Twitter, Fat Joe is blocking you because he considers them the worst of the worst. So Fat Joe will go on a Math Hoffa podcast recently, and he would pretty much explain his disdain and hatred for FBAs. He will call them everything under the sun other than a child of God.
Sometimes I say shit I've been saying for years, and the shit just go, you believe Fat Joe said hip-hop was Puerto Rican and Black? Whoa! My God, the world changed on me, nigga. I'm like, yo!
Well, you know what?
Where you been?
Let's get into that, because I think people outside of New York, it's hard for them to understand, you know, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Trinidadians, Jamaicans, Guyanese.
First of all, regardless of your opinion on who created hip hop or who was there, I do disagree with them trying to minimize the conversation of it's just people outside of New York. It's people who weren't here, because that's not true. All right, because Melly Mel, Grandmaster Caz, like Coke LaRock, they were all part of that documentary saying the Ricans ain't have nothing to do with the consumption of hip hop.
So Poetic Flacco just burned Fat Joe ass up. Because Fat Joe trying to spin that narrative, him and Crazy Legs, and then he just went into the documentary listing all of these founders who totally disagree. You know what I'm saying?
Real quick, Deuce, was that Rakim speaking?
Nah. That
the
wasn't
dude with the blue hat on before the guy that was just speaking before you played Poetic. The guy that was speaking with the blue hat on.
No. That was Fat Joe.
No, the other. No, I'm talking about.
Nah, I don't know, brother. I don't know what you talking about.
You heard me?
Brother. Yeah. They say KRS be rapping in the island accent at times. Yeah. Y'all fight amongst each other, leave Latinos out of it. We good. Wait, you saying that the Latinos don't fight amongst each other? You got a lot of sickening ideals and perceptions, Jose Chavez. I don't know how long you've been here in the United States, but if you on the West Coast, maybe you should have some more interactions that might help you come up out of some of those misconceptions and perceptions that you ill-conceived, right? So y'all fight amongst each other, leave Latinos out of it. We good. You never heard of the Florencias in the 18th Street? East LA Refis in the Matavillas, North Days in the South? I mean, you bite into that conception because they push that conception of black on black crime. But if we pull up the statistics right now, black on black crime, a black man is 91% likely, if murdered, to be unalived by another person that look like him. That's so-called black, which is a social construct. You have Caucasian people at about 86, 87%, just as likely to be unalived by somebody that looks like them if they are unalive. It's called by unalivement by proxy. We'll utilize that term. So, and the same with the Latinos and Hispanics. Stop biting on these white supremacist ideals and narratives, bro. Maybe you watching too much TV. But let's get back to Poetic Flacco. But great point, Poetic Flacco. Those dudes were from New York, so they trying to say the FBA's outside of New York at the same time saying nigga. This shit is crazy.
All right, DJ Hollywood. So it's not just people outside of New York. It's not just casuals. No, it's actual hip hop legends who are giving this opinion too. So I feel like they will have a much better stance if they address it head on, like Fat Joe is about to do. He's about to address it head on, other than just dismissing it as just people outside of New York, because that's not true. Because Lord Jamar is from New York. He's a New York legend. Now, Fat Joe will start off by just going blank on FBAs, man. Calling them bro, calling them parasites, all type of stuff, man. Now, what I would say, though, is kind of ironic, though, that Fat Joe is using the N-word actively in this conversation as he speaks on why he belongs in hip-hop.
Let's start by this. Let's start by this.
Around each other.
Let's start by this. These rumors were made by radical black racists. Let's just say that. Okay, it's a group of these guys that don't want to hear Jamaican, don't want to hear Guyanese, they don't want to hear a black guy that ain't down with them. Right. So their job is to criticize anybody who don't look like them or who ain't Black American.
Who are these guys?
You want me to say a name? We're gonna give them too much clout.
I mean,
the FBA, Foundational Black Authority, whoever the fuck these broke niggas is.
Whoever the fuck these broke niggas is, the FBA is racist.
Wow.
I'm just keeping it a buck. And their shit is to attack everybody on Twitter. You see this nigga who run them? Like, your leader? Yo, man, you gotta be fucking kidding me, man. And so they trying to change the narrative. They're not from New York.
Here's when Fat Joe goes back to vintage Fat Joe. See, Fat Joe is now the friendly uncle, and all of us forget that Fat Joe is actually gangster. So Fat Joe begins to address Lord Jamar directly, and he blacks out, bro. He calls Lord Jamar trash, calls him corny, says he's still whacking. Fat Joe went crazy on Lord Jamar. I'll be real. Lord Jamar owes Fat Joe a fade after what Fat Joe just said about Lord Jamar, man.
Can I say something real quick?
Fat Joe is going.
Go ahead.
I think that was Lord Jamar with the blue hat on, and that's correction. But even with that, the fact that he went off on a tangent saying that, right, and saying that he attacking Lord Jamar and he disrespected him, saying he was whack and all of these things. First off, Fat Joe, you was living in the shadows of Big Pun, which was a dope lyricist your whole fucking career. On top of that, you still living in the shadows, and he was still a dope MC than you, and he's dead, and he's still a doper MC than you. I'ma say that. I'ma land on that.
Hey, real quick, let me see this. Jose, you could go down. Get him out of here. Selena, I love black women with an M at the end, but don't drag Latinos into this. We dragging Latinos into this, or did Fat Joe take a position which sparked this conversation? See, I don't know if you knew where you was at.
Come on,
you and Damu Kiwe Conversations. And we gonna talk about it. We gonna talk about what the fuck we want to talk about. You're generalizing they and y'all, and bro, this is not a race war, bro. I don't know.
Jose did that to turn it into that, dude.
Huh?
I said Jose did that to try to detour the conversation because he see that every time.
No, that's why I said he could go. Let me make sure he go. Let me make sure he go.
And, I don't even know how to the defense, it ain't about starting none of that. Selena's a very, very good supporter and attribute to the Damu Kiwe Conversation. The facts that she's putting out and you're contesting that with a racial intent, that got to be the most small-minded thing you can do, because you can't hold educated and stimulated conversation with us because you're running straight to that.
Well, let's see. Let's stay interactive with the chat. They going crazy, bro. Let's just start right here. All right. Salute to everybody who been active in the chat. The help started Pun with Platinum. Okay, we already did that one. Let's get back to this. I done went too far up. Stand on it. What up? Selena said, I don't really like Fat Joe. He's such a lot. They said, Mike B said, I think KRS-One is Jamaican. See what I'm saying? And if you understand the Fba'S and what they push independence for descendants of slaves on this soil, not soils where if you're in the UK, you could have been an indentured servant.
Right.
Or they even had melanated pirates down in the Caribbean, bro.
Speak on it.
You know what I'm saying?
Speak
that
on
were of those different descents. And that's the ideology, and that's exactly how the Fba'S is pushing. So everybody wants to be a nigga until it's time to be a nigga. You know what I'm saying? Who else frontlined the civil rights movement, human rights movement in the United States? I'm quite sure some of all our people have. I know the Latinos participated. Salute to the Brown Berets. Salute
Can you hear
to
me, dude?
yeah.
All right, I'm just checking.
Salute to the Brown Berets. Salute to the Young Lords, Puerto Ricanos. We come from the same struggle. Salute to the essays. You know what I'm saying? Salute to the paisans. You know what I'm saying? They keep LA afloat. It wouldn't be LA without Mexicans, black love, brown pride in the sex again. You're supposed to have that pride. But let's get into, we could get rid of Poetic Flacco right now, and we could go into what year did hip hop start? So, y'all know us. We're going to be into the discussion, and I'm going to get into these comments after I read this. When did hip-hop officially start? Hip-hop has a big birthday next week. Nearly 50 years ago, August 11, 1973, some teenagers threw a back-to-school party in the rec room of their apartment building in the Bronx, and presiding over it all was DJ Kool Herc. Since then, hip-hop has evolved and it has exploded. So, DJ Kool Herc, right? At the Bronx party on August 11, 1973, he introduced the technique of playing the same album on two turntables and extending the drum section, which became known as the breakbeat. Many recognize this night as the birth of hip-hop. Other pioneering hip-hop DJs include African Bambaataa and Grandmaster Flash. Not one of these dudes, to my knowledge, is Latino. You talking about the breakbeat being originated, playing two different records at the same time, turntables, the breakbeat, breaking, dancing. So from Kool Herc being able to do what he did, to the breaking and the what you call it, that foundation is set. Obviously, other people are going to add to positive and dope ass trends to hip hop, especially once it became monetized. You know what I'm saying? That shit is corporate politics. But that's what they basically said with that, and it specifically say, let me see. It was one of these articles. I can't even find it. But you got to think, bro. You don't live in the same community with people. Hit that like button on your way in. You don't live in the same community with people. When you down, nigga, they hooking you up with tortillas, put them on the stove with a little butter on them. Y'all so poor, all y'all got is the salt to put on the butter tortilla. You know what I'm saying? Y'all might eat a stack of tortillas like this. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to pick up different and share different cultural, but when you begin to steal the identity, it becomes an issue. And essentially, the narrative that Fat Joe started with isn't even the same narrative he ended up with. But he definitely was committing erasure by the facts of what we just read, bro. What kind of agenda is he trying to lead on? Maybe he just feel like he taking it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, everybody want to be a nigga till it's time to be a nigga.
Damu Kiwe Conversations.
Sagittarius Jones said all of them are paid agents.
Hey, I'm starting to lean to that. Sagittarius Jones, I'm starting to believe that, bro. It's like Deuce M's just asked this question right now. And I think everybody is kind of missing that because of the narrative that's being implicated, which is the Latinos or that culture has started hip hop or took, and then Deuce M say, what is his agenda and what is the motive behind that? What's behind that? Why are you doing that? That's some agent
provocateur.
Hey, provocateur, or we just gonna tour and the ending route would be towards CS2 back. Because
you had to flame them up every chance you get up.
Because they correspond hand in hand. And look at this comment by GMAC real quick. I'm gonna speak that on GMAC. I think we are getting hip hop music mixed up with b-boy style, most of the brown and b-boys of hip hop, but they are not the creators of hip hop music. And that's true. They have a hand in on the whole breakdancing situation. We're not taking credit from what they helped do. We're saying that the originality stems from us. Deuce M just gave you a good example. We're not gonna run around here saying we the ones who started tortillas and make them like a certain dish or a certain dance in a culture that's not particularly ours. We're not gonna take that and make it our identity. But it's crazy how when it comes to the significance and the heaviness and the blatant visuals of what you see in society today, which will be the music, the culture, the lingo, the way we talk, the way we dress. A lot of people want to take a hand up on that saying we did that, but then when it's time to be us, they don't want to do that. They don't want to be they want to be an NIGGA. They don't want to be an NIGGR. They don't want to be that hard NR. But they want to utilize the NA all day. And then to say, what is that agenda that he's doing? Again, he's stemming something to rile up some things, to get people riled up, and then to take and to make a falsehood a truth. That's not true, bro. And that's like some agent type shit. In fact, Joe, you should know better, being that you've been around a lot of melanated brothers that were talented and that are talented. You know what I'm saying? And it just goes to show you that industry is very, wicked.
Mark, how do you pronounce it? Seuss, like the Seuss tribe. He say, I was born in Harlem, New York. My mother is from Greensboro, North Carolina. My father is from North Carolina. And this is something else that I wanted to speak on. We ain't gonna act like it wasn't racial tensions also when it came down to Black and Latinos. There was, you have elements of the Latino, because Latino consists of a lot of different cultures. And you'd be ignorant to put them all in one barrel. They all have unique qualities and contributing to their culture, right? But it was some of that population commiserated with our enemy, the government, the white supremacy, institutionalized racism, right? Even in a lot of South American countries, they still have similar to a caste system, You watch novellas, most of the dark and indigenous or melanated people in those novellas, most of the maids is going to be the dark ones, lowly jobs, because that puts into subconsciously into the people's mind that they are of a different status. They are beneath them. They are superior than these indigenous people whose land this really was. But let me see. We can get to this. We're gonna get to this real quick because I felt Fat Joe on this one, right? So it really made me like, where is this coming from after hearing this? Stay active in the chat. Let's go.
People power. And if you come together and stop separating the two, you will see that the power in numbers will get us exactly what we need in the hood. Don't fight your brothers and your sisters. We won. No matter how you look at this thing. Let me tell you about blacks and Latinos. There's no difference with blacks and Latinos. When you see the same messed up schools, the same hospitals, the biggest power is people power. And if you come together and stop separating the two, you will see that the power in numbers will get us exactly what we need in the hood. Don't fight your brothers and your sisters.
Don't fight your
we won. No matter how you look at this thing. Let me tell
you. We won, but for some reason today, you talking about the Puerto Ricans and blacks created hip hop. First and foremost, is to start off with black, DJ Kool Herc, but it shouldn't even be black. It should be melanated. And you're right. Let's not separate, right? But here it is. Obviously, you seeing there's a need. You're seeing through the lens of race to include a bigger part, Puerto Ricans, Latinos, a bigger part in the inception of hip hop. That's erasure, bro. So deep in your heart, you know that this is what's right. Deep in your heart, you can Google and see how hip hop started, most of the fundamental elements of the culture. And they were melanated people that looked like me and Yael. Some darker, most darker. So we can't deny the support that the Latino community gives to hip hop, one of the biggest consumers today. Not only what they contributed, Kid Frost, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Mr. Capone, High Power Entertainment. I done shows with them. They always got the bag before we get on the tour bus. You know what I'm saying? And they're lighter shade of brown, the Mexicans. So there's definitely been contributions on the West Coast from different artists that I know about on the East Coast and in New York specifically. Obviously, I don't think nobody in their right mind is going to debate that. But I just think it's hypocritical for him to take that position as if we supposed to be blind. Nah, bro, we understand the equity that's within our culture. That's why the small hats exploit that. Let's get to this real quick.
like really with a big voice. And Latinos wasn't there. You was invited. You are a specimen. I don't know what is up with these people that don't know their facts. They've been like lately talking about Latinos wasn't in rap and this. These guys are delusional. We're from the Bronx, New York. It happens. And so when hip hop started, it's Latino and black, half and half. But they going at me because I'm like the only Spanish dude, like really with a big voice. that, and Latinos wasn't there. You was invited. You are a specimen. I don't know what the fuck is up with these people that don't know their facts. They've been like lately talking about Latinos.
Now that I heard it, let me cut that off. I hope y'all heard that. Now that I heard it though, in context with the energy, he all the way out of motherfucking pocket. Hey, Fat Joe, suck my dick, nigga. I was trying to keep it respectful, right? And I just heard him say them people, right? Now, remember, we already heard him before say the FBA, saying they're racist. Now here he is playing the victim, bro. He's playing the victim from these people, right? They got to be out of their fucking mind if the Latinos weren't the first in rap. I don't know if he so far removed from the community because he been having money for a long, long time. Work Pun up out and his family up out a lot of royalties and shit, right? So I don't know if he just inherited that elitist mind state, or is it just that he's inherited and been colonized mentally to where he sees himself with at the same as and with massa, but to speak down so condescending and what's the word that I'm looking for? Demasculating. The way he's talking about FBAs, foundational Black Americans. That was like so racist what I was saying. I could imagine him talking about FBAs and Black people when we're not around. If he's saying this right now, imagine what the fuck he's saying when ain't no niggas around. These niggas broke, this and this and this and that. Okay, that might just be the elitists. But these people, right? They're crazy. As if the educated people, FBA, seeking knowledge of themselves, seeking healing, right? Psychological healing from generations and generations of trauma. That some of it never been healed. So to talk down on these educated Black people who are protecting and seeking what they believe is right for their people and standing on business on the fact of the matter. You wrong as two left shoes. You really need to go digest and look at this from this perspective. I didn't want to go there and with the Frank stand, but he from New York, so he should go ahead and expect that a West Coast nigga gonna meet that energy, right? But look at it from this position. We grow up together, all of that. And this definitely needs to be highlighted. From a people who are detached as a people because they were colonized, their identity taken from them. My name ain't, what's your name? Kuta Kinte. Your name Toby, boy. You trying to practice voodoo or whatever ancient spirituality was passed on to you from your parents, you can't practice that religion.
Facts.
Right? They moved you and kept you away, loading you on a slave. I'm talking about those coming from Africa and the Iberian Peninsula, right? Obviously, those FBAs indigenous to this land, this is non-applicable, all right? We're not going to have that debate today. But their identity taken from them, their culture taken from them. But in the depths of despair, through the oppression, 400 years in the United States of America, slavery, Jim Crow, right? The Great Migration from the South as a refugee, trying to escape Jim Crow, seeking better economic opportunities, right? And they come out of despair and create this, a mix of disco, blues, right? Rhythm and blues. This is what hip hop is. I don't think it was too many Latinos down in the South during Jim Crow. I don't remember hearing no Latinos say that their parents were sharecroppers. Not one. That was after slavery. That they scrubbed European slave masters' floors for hundreds of years to even my mother's mother was still doing. I watched that. That's where we come from. And we create this. You don't think that they're going to get defensive and protective as naturally being protectors, men, about you trying to steal that identity? After all of this, we didn't get into the Iran-Contra scandal. We didn't get into the war on drugs. We didn't even get into COINTELPRO. All the Latinos definitely was targeted also during COINTELPRO. The Native Americans also, shout out to the American Indian movement. They shot it out with them boys in like Montana, Wyoming, somewhere, shot it out with the feds. So educate and understanding. Understand this when you take these positions and then say these niggas or these people. Understand why you're going to get that type of reaction. Go ahead, y'all.
I think you already know how I feel about the whole separation thing, and I say this to say this, man. Within the Most High and the understanding, we know that every nation was created for a certain situation. And it's a blessing to know when you find out your purpose, you can stand in it with truth and honor. And the fact that the melanated man has been demonized, put towards the bottom, identity stolen, hell, we ain't even the progenitors and creators of hip hop because we got other people that want to implode and imply themselves and not say, hey, you know what? We know you guys are the founders and we did help build it up. And we cool with saying that. But what we not finna do is play the identity game and then you just go ahead and cover our identity as a whole and try to take over something that you did not create in the first place. This is where the issues are coming in when it comes to the melanated people. Like Dusim said, we played a very pivotal role in the building of countries, terminology, slang, the way we wear our clothes, the way we say our lingo, the way we do our music. We've played a pivotal part in the way society is now structured. Hell, our money brings in trillions of dollars when it comes to Wall Street. But yet they demonize, ostracize, and then try to close the blinds on us because they say, well, we don't really want y'all to know y'all history. We don't really want y'all to know who y'all are. But that's a whole nother conversation. This conversation right now is about an individual, particularly Fat Joe, saying that we're not the face of what we created. That's part of identity theft. You trying to steal something that you didn't have no hands in on to a degree. You did a little, give you the credit, but to drag it out to say the things that you said right now, and then to call the FBA them people, come on, homie.
And racist.
And racist on top of that, Deuce. It's like, come on, bro. You in the whole hip hop community with melanated brothers. How is these brothers standing with you, looking at you like you can't? I'm not looking at you as a brother no more. I'm looking at you as an other.
Right.
That statement alone is already, I'm already segregated. I'm already standing on the side of put foot in your ass, slap you upside your bald head, lick.
I wanted to read this question by Slim Hayes, Bread Boy, right? He said, we already let others take credit for blues, jazz, and so much more. I hope we don't just give up hip hop like that. You're right.
Wow.
Rock and roll, blues, jazz. You're
Speak
right.
on it. Can I say Elvis Presley? Can I
Yeah.
say Elvis Presley had a melanated brother writing his music, taking his music, and didn't give that brother no credit? But see, that's again, these are the conversations that people want to hide, but yet want to scream, let's not divide. The divide comes when you hide information. That's why we're dividing, because you don't want the truth to come out. And when Damu Kiwe Conversation touches on the truth, guess what? We knocking shit loose. Y'all got to get the news. Y'all got to get the meat of the situation. But we got to give it to y'all in portions, because you guys are over here getting a heavy doses of fuckery, and then when we give y'all the truth and the same, y'all can't take it. So we got to break it down for y'all. We got to break it down for y'all so y'all can understand this. And I hope you guys are being edified, because Du Sims and the team takes a lot to break these things down and get this information. But even with this right here, this was self-explanatory. You heard it from the horse's mouth. He's telling you guys how he truly feels, or he's working. One or the two.
Right.
So let's just do us.
TV. Go ahead, bro.
No, I was just saying, just do us a favor and just be understanding to the fact that when a person show you who they are, believe it. Fat Joe is showing you who he is, man. You want to read that comment, Deuce?
You can.
Oh, RKTV. This what happens every time we friends with every other culture. Then they always want to pop their shit when they get that. That white tea spirit. I know what you mean, man. Listen, that spirit dwells in those who are, one, created in it, two, familiar with it, three, that's just what you are, bro. That's who he is, bro. I'm a very firm believer. A person can only hide their true self until the truth come out. Until their truth, it comes out, man. Eventually, a snake is gonna shed its skin. You gotta let people be. And I used to get mad. I used to get mad when niggas hung with snitches and did all of that stuff. I can't get mad no more. I can't get mad no more. I gotta let people be who they are. Cause blessings to Bremenem, Critter, and my brother TD. We had conversations, and TD and Critter, we was on the phone, made some very valid points. Listen, you can only do so much for a person. You gonna stress yourself out, man. And stress is not something that you should be putting on yourself. You should be living life, still standing on business, but live your life, man. Live your life, meaning you can't take on every war. And this is a situation to where he's taking on something. That Fat Joe's bringing something to the table. He want us to take on a situation to where it's just like detrimental to everybody. No, we just expounding and letting you know, like, look, bro, you saying some bullshit. We gonna kill it with facts. We just killed it with facts. Du Sims elaborated deeply with facts. Fat Joe, you was wrong for what you said. We need an open public apology. You got dudes that we know that is surrounding themselves with you. You need to apologize, bro, or just shut the fuck up entirely. Real spill, bro. Rest in peace, Big Pun, one of the dopest that was in your camp, and still the dopest.
I just in his camp, nigga, one of the dopest to ever do it. Big Pun's flow and that speedy flow too puts him in top 25 lyricists I ever heard, bro.
I throw him in there.
He's
still living in that man's shadows. And this is why.
I ain't a hater. I just crush a lot. White and black is a status. I'm brown. Fuck sloppy Fat Joe. Hey, you right about that. It is more of a social construct to see people to do that. When they first came to Akabuyan, the Greek name Afrique or whatever, Africa, however they want to pronunciate it.
Bro said Africa is crazy.
When they came up out the Caucasus Mountains, you know what I'm saying, to come learn from their teachers, we wasn't tripping off no race. In fact, it appears from all scientific and genetic makeup, since they come from us, our people was going ahead having sex with them, Europeans, man.
Them Wyopis. Another brother who builds real good, dudes. We gotta get him to build with us in a few sessions. Brother Talmud. And we've even heard him speak before. We done brought him on before. Brother Talmud.
He didn't come in today.
Well, salute to you, brother. But yeah, dudes, man, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like when you be sitting
Y'all
back,
better not be beating up on Selena in the back. Last thing you want to be caught up in is black. If y'all didn't pay attention to how I handled that dude until it just became obviously disrespectful and racist, you know what I'm saying? Most racists, especially like that, if he is a racist, I believe he more likely was an agent. This is what COINTELPRO do. We're more than likely under investigation. I've definitely been under federal watch now since I got out of federal prison, right? Supervised release, got off that. You think that they gonna let somebody with this type of mind and a violent history not be watched? My case is United States of America versus Lamonte Sims. I committed a crime against the federal government. So I more than believe that the dude that was in the chat was an agent provocateur trying to build distinction, not just of the content. How did he just land over here? We don't know him before, and he jumps right in with that type of negativity. Could just be a troll, but I lean more the other way, especially when we talk about this type of topic. But what we ain't going to do is get to doing exactly what he did, the you people and they, and categorizing everybody in one paintbrush. My fiance is a Mexican, Hispanic, indigenous. Let me take that back. She's not Mexican. She's indigenous to the country that they have drew the invisible borders of and called Mexico. That was conquered by the Spaniards. The history of Gaspar Yanga, which was the first resistance in the Americas from white imperialism and colonialism in the Americas, in Mexico, what they call Mexico. But yeah, let's not do that. So that means you black women stop putting straight hair wigs, trying to steal our Puerto Rican way good hair. Jeanette Hernandez. Y'all done triggered Jeanette. So look, Jeanette, let me let you know this, right? You do understand that we are the most diverse people on this planet. Just because you from Africa don't mean that you necessarily have kinky hair. You ever seen an Ethiopian? Egyptians? This is the most diverse continent on the planet. But obviously, Jeanette Hernandez, when you hear about our people, melanated people that's here, negative connotations come to you and you only see us in a dark light. Salute to them beautiful black chocolate. Oh my God. Some of the most beautifulest women in the world. With rhythm. You understand? But yeah, my hair real curly, but I'm mixed. You know what I'm saying? I got a little Mexican in me. You know what I'm saying?
Stop listening to Deuce M's. He is not mixed. He is a nigga. He probably got a little bit in there, but the generation's been already he's a nigga, y'all.
And you don't know what was going on in them hen houses on the plantation.
Deuce M's got good hair, but my niece got some good hair, but she's a nigga.
But look at that. Wait. Let's stop that, right? I said I had curly hair.
Oh, okay.
She
All
was
right.
talking about curly hair.
Oh,
But
all right,
just
all
think
right.
about the term that you just used when you said Due Sims got some good hair. That's the white institutionalized racism right there. The exact epitome of institutionalized racism that by European standards, if your hair is straighter or curlier and closer to your oppressors, then it's good, it's positive. But if it's closer to indigenous Americans or Africans, then it's a negative connotation. And that's just embedded into how people talk in America now. A colonized mind. Let's go. Fat Joe never said Puerto Ricans make hip hop. He was saying Puerto Ricans, Jamaicans, and African Americans together did it. No, he said they created it. There's a difference to say that we did it together. Everybody had a part to play. But he was talking about the genesis and including Puerto Ricans and everybody else outside of the FBA diaspora as that. But thank you for the comment, Santos Rodriguez. Fat Joe is still butthurt after he tried to copy Ice Cube when he performed for the Dodgers. And Fat Joe tried it with the Yankees and his performance was weak. Plus his Yankees lost. Los Doyes! Selena,
hey,
love that.
Los G-Mac, you a fool, bro.
Huh?
G-Mac a fool.
Yeah. G-Mac a fool for that. Fat Joe is not Spanish, he's European. Spanish is Europeans, bro. Where do you think they came from?
On it.
That's the Iberian Peninsula. But the Moors also descend from the Iberian Peninsula, and the Moors are one of the people, melanated people that had already traveled to the Americas before the Vikings and before European colonizations of the New World. Exactly, yeah. So it wasn't so new to our people. OG Meg, salute Queen, not European. But now I think mentally he is. Seen nobody problem when we say, hey, we want to acknowledge our own shit and our people. They complain fast. Everybody can have their culture except us. We the most copy race of people around. Bro, you're 100% right. You know what I'm saying? And really, we gotta blame ourselves. These same people who founded it should have understood once it became corporate intellectual property, trademark and copy, and all of that type of stuff. Let's go. OG Meg, Jeanette Hernandez, I did since they want to talk shit. She's still pissed off. Hey, look, Jeanette, we're not trying to start a war with the Latinos and Hispanics because we love y'all. But just like us, we got pieces of shit and racists, bigots, and all kind of shit also. But the FBAs isn't known as being bigots. They known for pushing forward as a movement, unifying. The only people I know that got a problem with us becoming independent financially, educationally, right, psychologically, at peace is us. Let's go. P's and Q's, salute. Thanks for exposing the dick trapper. You know what I'm saying? Dick trapped in the closet. You know,
bro, leave that man. That dude, nasty work.
Selena Grinder. You know what I do behind you. Hey, Selena, Jeanette Hernandez, they are not. We don't need to fight over something that isn't anything. Don't talk about the women. They are not saying anything. Everybody that believes that black and brown BS needs to go spend some time in CDC. Oh, yeah, the politics. Well, they're aligned with the ABs. The MA and the ABs is aligned. And the MA was founded by a mountaineer. Facts. I don't know how you could be melanated and not European and align with white supremacy willingly and ally yourself with that. It's crazy to me, but that's their politics. So their politics was built upon a lot of white supremacist ideals. You definitely gonna see that in CDCR. RDL salute. We tried that movie, Let You Immigrate in Our Neighborhoods. Movie? I don't know what you mean, what movie? American blacks were here first, we American. I don't know. I know I got some native and indigenous to me, but I don't know the we can't, bro, we're the original people of all continents of this planet. Celestial beings, God's people, the children of Israel. We're everywhere, bro. Of course, we're the original man. But I'm talking about just migrational patterns after the Inquisition in 1492. The Catholic Church was turning all of the Latinos, not Latinos, Latinos, to force into their thing. Ladino is a language. They call it Judeo-Spanish or Judo-Spanish, right? Because it was also utilized by what they call Sephardic Jews that ran it into Eurasia and the Ottoman Empire, Turkey, and all of that stuff. But in South, let me Google that real quick for y'all, man. Y'all gonna make me get into y'all done got me started.
Throw Christopher Columbus' name in there too.
Boom. So we gonna get into this, and it goes so much more deeper. You know what I'm saying? But we that's for another time. But when he was saying we all together, we really is all together, except mentally. We allow ourselves to be divided. But this is the definition of Ladino. Ladino is a language spoken by Sephardic Jews or Sephardim, and is also known as Judeo-Spanish or Judismo. So it goes Sephardic Jews developed Ladino after being expelled from Spain in 1492 and settling in the Ottoman Empire. I already said that. Ladino is based on Spanish and other Iberian languages, but also includes many elements from other Mediterranean languages such as Turkish, Greek, Italian, French, and Arabic. Right? Let's go to who are the Ladinos in Mexico? Ladino is sometimes used to refer to the mestizo, like me, I'm a mestizo, middle class, or to the population of indigenous peoples who have attained some level of upward social mobility above the largely impoverished indigenous masses. This relates especially to achieving some material wealth and adopting a North American lifestyle. Let's see. Ladinos. Let's go to that. Ladino in America. All right. Including the language spoken by Sephardic Jews and on term for Hispanicized people in Latin America. So these same Ladinos, after 1492, were fleeing not just Jews, also Moors. Because after almost 1,000 years of being ruled by the Moors, the Catholic Church, and they unified it to get motherfuckers up out of here. Niggas got to get somewhere. And persecution for religious reasons and ethnic reasons began to be profound in the Iberian Peninsula, Spain, Portugal, and those surrounding towns. People started moving in waves back into Africa, into the Middle East, into Eurasia, and even across the water to where they were touching down in 1492. Let me make sure I show y'all that, because y'all might not believe me. When did the first Latinos fleeing the Iberian Peninsula land in the Americas? So, can y'all see that? Oh, y'all can't see it. Let me share this with y'all real quick. So, when did the first Latinos flee in the Iberian Peninsula land in the Americas? The first Africans from Spain were known as Latinos or Hispanicized Africans. Remember they said mestizos? Africans from Spain, 1492. They were Hispanicized Africans, which means they already spoke Spanish.
But
And
can I elaborate real quick, Deuce? What people fail to realize when they say Africans from Spain, they were melanated people that spoke Spanish. That's what they were.
Well, no,
melanated.
You did have a lot of Africans there. You got to remember, bro. They ran up in that thing on elephants, nigga. On elephants. But
hey, they was out here like this.
Right. But look, these Africans from Spain started arriving in Americas as early as the 15th century. So 1492, right? Let me see, what was that thing called? I think it was called the Inquisition in Iberian.
The Spanish Inquisition.
I think that's what it was.
Yes, Trevor Kelly, I am an Israelite. Shalom. Yes, Selena the elephant. Hey, the chat. Hey, man, the chat is always where it's at, man. Y'all be on fire in the chat. Salute to y'all, man, keeping that mug lit, man.
Yo, we definitely finna get into that. Oh, okay, here it go right here. Y'all can see it. So look, the Spanish Inquisition was a religious tribunal established in Spain by the Catholic monarchs in 1478, aimed at persecuting and punishing individuals suspected of heresy, particularly targeting Jewish converts to Christianity, known as conversos, who were believed to be secretly practicing Judaism. It was notorious for its brutal methods of interrogation and torture, often leading to executions. So in 1492, they kicked them out. The Spanish Inquisition had a significant impact on Spanish society, creating an atmosphere of fear and suspicion and leading to the expulsion of many Jews from the country in 1492. So 1478, they started pressing. By 1492, they was trying to get somewhere and get up out of there. But a lot of these black Africans that they talked about, these Latinos in Central and South America, North America, these Latinos who already spoke Spanish, they were also came over here. So then you got those that had been already traveling here. When the Moors were being the first to recognize the United States sovereignty, Google it. Don't believe me. They already knew about this land. The Moorish people had already been here. What was his name? Barker. I don't want to slander his name, but that's how what's his name came into power. His brother believed that it was a land of milk and honey over here. Yes, but they're saying he's not black. He don't have to be black. for the argument to be solid, he does have to be black if he's saying that that he started hip hop. I'm saying he's not black. These
Right.
dudes that started it are not black. So how can you like block that fact out of the mind and rationally come to a conclusion on whether or not Fat Joe's statement was intentional, an intentional lie, a misunderstanding, an honest debate? I mean, this was like a clear-cut case. DJ Kool Herc didn't start hip hop neither. I hear you. Let's get it cracking. I'm listening. Matter of fact, we finna drop the thing. We finna drop the thing. Let the people come up, whoever want to come up and talk about what we talking about and contribute to this conversation. Feel welcome. Come kick it with Deuce Sims and the Kiwe Pop Star, man. Brother Talmid.
Conversations.
There go Brother Talmid right there. I think
Okay.
you missed the whole thing, huh, brother?
Man, bruh, I'm at work right now, champ.
Okay, don't worry about it. There'll be other opportunities to build with your knowledge. Latinos started great taco stand. Oh, now they being real. He ain't lying, but I think he's being he's race baiting.
Hey, Talmid, I saluted you, Ak, man. When you get a chance, come on in. When you get a chance on the next bill, brother.
Yeah, let me know something.
You can't take shit for black people that we already own. Yeah, you right about that. Jeanette Hernandez, I'm part of this team, girl. I'm Mexican. They are not racist. I'm telling you, it's not that. They support Latinos too. That's crazy. Now we're racist. Is that crazy or is that crazy?
That's anything that doesn't support a narrative that another nation says, we're automatically put at the lower end and we're already put in a bad negative light. But let it be said by another nation of people, oh, it's okay, it's just talk. Oh, it's just words. Oh, it's just opinion. But let the melanated people say it. Oh, we the worst. We're the worst of the worst of the worst.
Yeah, man, listen, I don't give a fuck. They can call me whatever they want to. They talk bad about Jesus, and I'm far from as perfect as he was. So I expect to be crucified wrongfully and sometimes justly, you know what I'm saying? Because I fuck up too. But in this one, they out of pocket. I am a black man, but all y'all racists hate on us. You got that. I can't say all y'all racists. I would say people from each race. You don't want to do a paint all and put people that's not. So Jane Fonda was hating on us. She was one of the biggest financial donors to the Black Panther Party. And she's not our race. In fact, she's from the Caucasus Mountains.
From the Caucasus. Hey, we got Henny in the chat. Salute to Henny, that girl Henny, who brings plenty. Salute to you, sis, in the chat. And hey, Jenny from the block, we just tapping in with you too, sis. Salute.
Hey, he said, the moment you said Kool Herc created hip hop is the moment you lost me. It was a collective group of teenagers that Kool Herc threw a party for. Well, that's not what I got about him throwing a party for them. They were throwing a party and he did what he did there. Just because they threw a party doesn't mean that they basically essentially booked him. He was the entertainment. He brought the talent. Let's go. By all means, yes, RK, we would support if it's good. Hit that MF like button. Frank Nitty, what's happening with you, man? You got something to add today, brother?
What's going on, gentlemen? What's good, fellas, man? Just chilling, man. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for letting me up. You know what I'm saying? I'll be watching y'all be in the comment section, man, you know, supporting. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate that.
Yeah, man. No doubt. But I mean, I just think my thing is, you know, we create stuff and people duplicate it and emulate it. You know what I'm saying? And when we call people out on doing that, then we get called racist. It's a counter thing. But see, that right there, real adults know how to take accountability. You know what I'm saying? Like how Godfather, what did he say? He said, only careless people could be women and children. You know what I'm saying? And I took a lot out of that, but what I took out of that too is the accountability part and the fact of saying, okay, you right on this one, we wrong on this one. It's funny how we gotta always say we right on this, you right on this one, we was wrong on this one, but they don't want to say it. You see what I'm saying? I done been on several people's channels, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Mexicans channels pushing the racism, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I get in the comment section, and I'm like, all right, you know what I mean? And I confront them on there, but I'm like, you know what? I'm not even gonna waste that energy in that time because you gotta keep your energy, you know what I'm saying, protected. But at the same time, I'm just letting cats know, like, look, man, that counter narrative that cats is spitting, you know what I'm saying? It's not cool. But at the same time, you can't do that to people that don't want to take accountability. And it's funny because you get cats that's been to the pen before, been to jail before, right? Want to go by them rules. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, they get out and they act like they forget about them rules. They act like they forget about respect. They act like they forget about, you see what I'm saying? But I noticed groups do that to us. You know what I'm saying? To the so-called black man in America, they do that to us, right? And I noticed that, especially you got the Puerto Ricans. I'm from New York, but I was raised out here in California, so I know both sides. You see
what part of New York?
I'm actually from Queens. I'm from Far Rockaway. Yep, that's like a little in the cut. But I see that, man. I be on different channels. I'll be on different platforms. Man, I got my own channel too, but I see how cats are, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, why we gotta, like, even the little thing with the corn vendor thing, where the dude Jap had to discipline his brother, you know what I'm saying? Because dude ended up being his brother for, you know what I'm saying, assaulting the corn person. We DP each other, or we'll get on one of ours for doing something to one of theirs, but it's not the same energy. You see what I'm saying? And now we talking about this hip hop aspect, because you know what I'm saying? This hip hop aspect, if it's the same thing to me. You know, people don't want to take accountability. People don't want to say, it's funny, we got a different amount of respect in the pen or in jail, but we don't have the same thing on the streets. It's fake on the streets, as far as, you know, I'm talking about as far as this, it's a little different as far as the street thing now. Stuff has calmed down, but as far as this hip hop and just the racism, I'm talking about taking accountability for the racism, and I'm talking about this hip hop thing and giving us our clout for stuff we built and stuff that we, you know what I'm saying? I noticed that. And I think that's kind of whack, man. You got to look at it like this too. They're running clout. A lot of these dudes run clout and content too. And a lot of their clout and content is going to be different from ours. Ours is going to be like, look, we're universal. You know what I'm saying? We love, you know what I'm saying? Us and everybody else. Sometimes some of theirs is not going to be like that. It's going to be fake, but it's not going to be, you see what I'm saying? It's not really going to be like that. It's fake. It's not genuine. But we just got to look at it like this, man. A lot of these dudes don't want to take accountability. It's going to be a backwards argument constantly. But when dudes want to be adults about it and just say, you know what, yeah, you're right, this and that, or whatever you do, you know, ours, yeah, yours would do ours, then it's different. But when we don't get that, we don't get that. So it's
let me get into this real quick, right? Mm-hmm. I think that when you say that, like say when it was somebody just took off on the corn man, and it was a couple incidents, but the Hoovers stood on business and regulated their people because it went against their moral code. I think that not every one of us, but our people have such big hearts. But I think that we have this sense, especially our men, as the creators of humanity, to protect this earth with just actions. That's just our nature, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I know what, even when it's the aesthetics of it it's telling you that's not a good look. Y'all supposed to kill them people for what they did to y'all and all that slavery. When these police unaliving unarmed black people, y'all supposed to went hard for that. And we accept apologies so quickly. We're very understanding. We have a balance and a scale of justice innately in the way that we interact. Not all of us, bro. You know what I'm saying? People get on drugs, people get on everything. But I'm just saying, generally speaking, I done heard essays, Mr. Capone and them said it before when they was talking about WAC 100. You know what I'm saying? So that's just our nature, bro. Do we need to be a little bit more tougher? I believe so. You know what I'm saying? But we definitely need to protect our culture. What up with it, Eric? Eric,
Hey,
salute,
what's
King.
going on? Salute, y'all. Let's
What
talk
up,
on
what
the show. I want to say, Phil, good topics though. We always got some good topics, and I want to say that about the racist stuff like that. Everybody gonna say what they want to say, but you just got to know and follow what you know that's right. You feel me? Because everybody will have an opinion on something they don't like. There's always gonna be confusion about that. It is what it is. So I just say, if there's anybody like that around you, then shoot, I suggest you say. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm gonna say about that point.
Eric, salute, brother, salute, salute,
Salute,
salute.
salute, y'all, salute. But other than that, though, I want to say what's happening before I get up out of here. Y'all know, still part of the squad.
We
I just
know
been
that,
down.
man.
You
I
already
already
know.
heard. I already
Nah,
heard,
Eric,
man.
we need that. Nah.
It's cool. Come on, I thought we was cool. Nah, but yeah.
All right, Eric.
For sure, though.
All right,
Yeah,
brother.
yes, sir, in the flesh, though. All right, y'all. I'm gonna holler at y'all, but I'm gonna watch it till I go.
All right,
All right,
word,
salute.
man.
Salute,
For
brother.
sure, y'all.
And I agree with both of
Salute.
y'all, man. I agree with both of y'all. I agree with you, Deuce, man. That's you're right, man. Because we the originators of humanity. You know what I'm saying? You can find us indigenous people look like us everywhere, all across, even in Samoa. You know what I'm saying? South Pacific. You know what I'm saying? Even in Australia, the Aborigines over there. You see what I mean? Africa over here. Over here. You see what I'm saying? The Mayas and the Incas. You know what I'm saying? What else? Then you had the Olmecs. You know what I mean? That's something that they want to keep on the hush. Is the Olmecs. You know what I'm saying? The Olmec heads. What, 50-foot Olmec head on the coast of Mexico?
I'm glad you said that, because Fat Joe on that original video where he was talking about we won and looking at it through that lens, right? And today I sent Maria a video. Maria's from Oaxaca. That was the land of the rubber people, right? I seen the glue there. Oogle, I forgot how I think it's oogle, but it's the glue, right? Let me go to Maria, what you call it, real quick. And I'm gonna play that video just because you brought that up, bro. After that, we gonna end this. But this is definitely an educational video. I think this is it. I hope this is it. Boom. Oh yeah, boom. Oh yeah, we got some content for y'all. Salute to my indigenous brothers. Salute to my indigenous brothers. And we're gonna be going in the chat. Let me stop screen sharing so I can present it. I'm glad you said that though, bro.
Oh, for sure, man. We gotta be educated ourselves and be well educated so that we can, educate the youth, man.
Bam. Well, hopefully people start. I'm gonna stop cursing so much so people start allowing they children catch these type of shows we do. They can't be here when I'm on CS2 back. I refuse not to cuss. Let's go.
Who's coming in the
We're talking about the genetics of these Native American, but the Olmecs seem to have very similar features, the thick lips, the wide noses. Why do we think that is?
Well, this is part of a curious mystery that is not unconnected to the genetic mystery.
The Mother High culture in Mesoamerica, the one who brought in all the hallmarks of civilization, from writing to mathematics, stone building and religion, that culture shows some very interesting properties. But when historians demonstrate that these cultural features are not alien at all, but clearly displays similarity with its Black African counterpart across the Atlantic, these historians are immediately cast aside because of the implication of these statements. And yet, there is a large body of evidence that shows that the Mesoamerican civilization was kick-started by Africans around the year 1500 BC. So much so that despite centuries of denial and cover-up, we can still see the signs in many aspects of the Olmec culture and the cultures that followed it. In 1862, when the first Olmec head was discovered in Tres Zapotes, Jose Melgari Serrano, examined the head and noted the following: that the statue had a large flat nose, full lips, and almond-shaped eyes.
Fact.
The winds of yesterday sing into our sails the name of the ancient ones. The Atlantic Ocean was always thought of as an uncrossable barrier, a 7,500 miles crossing that historians say was only made by the Vikings, all the while disregarding the receipts of numerous waves of African crossing and influence into the New World. I mean, one has to be blind to the fact that the Mesoamerican civilization miracle can only be explained once it is put into the context of an African seeding. Not because the people of the region were not capable, but because the Africans happened to have nurtured those sciences for millennia and had the practice of consistently spreading it to the rest of the world. They call it a mystery, the sudden emergence of the Olmec civilization in 1600 BC as a fully formed civilization. If that was the case, then we would not be able to link its civilizing elements to existing and older civilizations. The Olmec writing system is often referred to as the Cascajal script because its most notable evidence is found on the Cascajal block, a stone tablet discovered in the Olmec heartland in Veracruz, Mexico. This writing is considered one of the earliest known writing systems in the Americas, dating back to around 900 BCE. It predates all Mesoamerican scripts, such as the Maya glyphs, and is believed to be the root of these later writing systems. The Cascajal script contains 62 unique symbols, arranged in a non-linear fashion. The symbols include abstract shapes, plants, and what appear to be animal forms, which may reflect Olmec religious or cultural themes. Does that remind you of something? Another writing system that is non-directional, which can be written from left to right left, or from top down. And if you said hieroglyphics, you would be right. The similarities between Mayan and Egyptian hieroglyphs just cannot be attributed to chance. Both use phonograms followed by ideograms to relate meaning. These are pretty much the only languages in history to do so. The odds of that happening independently, randomly, and within the same time period is astronomically impossible. Just for context, other independently developed writing systems in the world look nothing like hieroglyphics. And I am not talking about Chinese kanji, Arabic script, Greek alphabet, or Phoenician alphabet, because these have all been shown to come from Medu Necher, the African hieroglyphics from Egypt. But other systems like the Proto-Saharan script, the Blombos cave markings, or Ncibiti, their properties are very different from hieroglyphics. But it also extends to their numbers. Olmecs happen to have a base 10 number system, just like the Africans in ancient Egypt. They could have chosen a base 20, like the Yoruba in Nigeria, or the Bassa in Cameroon. Or they could have chosen a base 60 like the Sumerians. Or they could have chosen a base 12. Or another unique way of counting. But they happen to have the same counting methods as the Africans from Kemet. And subsequent Mesoamericans, civilizations, had a base 20 number system, which is just an extension or a doubling of the Olmec and Kemetic base 10, even down to the mortuary masks for their dead kings that they also buried in pyramids, in ornately decorated pyramids. Golden masks for dead Mesoamerican kings, golden masks for the pharaohs. Mummification for the Aztec and the Maya, mummification in Egypt, stone sarcophagus for the Mesoamerican kings, stone sarcophagus for Nubio-Kemetic kings, pyramids in Mesoamerica, pyramids in Egypt. And these pyramids share a lot in terms of their dimensions, their orientation, their style, their building technique. To say that this is a coincidence is to be wholly dishonest, especially in the face of all the other evidence. All of this shows why it is not a miracle that the Olmec civilization just sprang out of nowhere. And it is also not a coincidence that it happened to have emerged on the east coast of the Americas, exactly where the Atlantic currents end. But then, if indeed the first high culture in the Americas was seeded by Africans, surely there must be some remains of them from that period. And this is exactly what we will see in in the next section.
That's why blood sugar increases and the feet burn. Did you know that type 2 is a
Hey, this
completely
is
reversed?
really dope, man. Stay with us. We got about 16 minutes. Very educational. Something you might be able to take with you and share with your children. Very proud. It's interconnected.
When Dr. Andrei Wiercinski studied the remains of Olmec-era Mesoamerica, he was surprised to discover that 13.5% of the skeletons from Tlatilco and 4.5% of the skeletons from Cerro de las Mesas were Africoid. He supports this claim with skeletal evidence from several Olmec sites, where he found skeletons that were analogous to the West African type black. This means that 3,000 years later, we are still able to find skeletal remains that point to a clear and substantial African presence in Olmec country from that era. And this evidence makes sense, because if the Africans came in such numbers, the same Africans that we find in ancient Egypt, as genetic has shown, these Kemetu would have encountered an already existing stock of people living in Mesoamerica. They would have been concentrated in one area, the port of arrival in the Americas, and over the centuries, they would have merged with the existing population.
This figure was quite distinct, and they found in the dry areas of the Olmec world skeletons that could be linked with continental African types, Africoid types. Professor Wiercinski, a Polish skull expert, showed that these were African type skeletons.
I mean, look at the heads of the Olmec kings and compare them to the one in the middle, the head of Taharka, the Egyptian king. How is it even possible to say that these heads are not African, and their features would be seen in the population of the area today? And this is exactly what genetics is showing us.
That the settlement story of the Americas is much more complicated than we've realized.
So the Mesoamericans who have typical African features today don't have them because of similarities with Africans. They have them because the Africans brought these genetic characteristics to the population of the area. But are there any clear signs that Black Africans had contact with and influenced Mesoamerican culture in ancient times? In the earliest depictions of the feathered serpent god, Quetzalcoatl, we can see a Mesoamerican man being flown by the serpent, and in possession of a very peculiar object. If you look closely, you will see that he is carrying a handbag, and this famous handbag has been seen in almost all significant ancient civilizations outside of the Nubio-Kemetic civilization. Quetzalcoatl was associated with the wind, learning, and the planet Venus. He was considered a patron of priests and a symbol of knowledge and creativity. Quetzalcoatl was often also depicted as a cultural hero who brought agriculture, the calendar, and the arts to humanity. His teachings emphasized the importance of self-sacrifice and humility. The connections here are so obvious that ancient Mesoamerican are essentially telling us that an all-knowledgeable God came to their land, bringing all the elements of civilization. And this matches perfectly the historical records that we see, and all the evidence that we see, that in 1500 BC, a people came to the land with their technology of agriculture, writing, mathematics, life-saving medicine, building techniques, engineering, and so much more. For all intent and purposes, these people were gods to the Mesoamericans, and they recorded them as such. And like any gods,
Hey, you see the handbag though?
Yeah, I
They
ain't about
They got the same one in Egypt and the pyramids as they got over here in the Americas. And in 1500 BC, they came up over here. They say, knowing astrology and all of these different other things that help civilize and create great civilizations. And that's what this is supposed to be symbolic of. Pay attention.
centuries later, they morphed into a legend. Oh, and by the way, if you were wondering what the people who built Göbekli Tepe looked like, well, here it is. Flat nose, high cheekbones, strong African features. And this matches what we already know of the Natufians who invented agriculture, and who we have shown are clearly black Africans in previous videos.
Right.
The Natufians are said to have built Gobekli Tepe too. And so, the Mesoamericans recorded these African gods with their many features in their art, down to the dreadlock hairstyles and West African head coverings. That's right, you heard it right. Many of the Olmec heads had dreadlocks, a hairstyle only worn by black Africans and not by the Polynesians. But it's not just the hair, it's also the helmets.
And the kind of flattened base, the brow ridge. And look at the helmet. That's a very peculiar type of helmet. It does not occur anywhere else in America. It has a strap along the face, falling along the ear, and it has a circular ear plug. Those helmets, exact type of helmet, were found in the Egyptian world in this period. What period? The period that has been dated by carbon-14 datings.
Okay then, if black Africans were so influential in Mesoamerica, and if they came in such numbers and in so many waves, then there should at least have been a remnant of them when the Europeans arrived in 1498, and the earliest European would have reported them in their earliest voyages. Well, they did. In his journal, Christopher Columbus noted that the indigenous people of Hispaniola reported visits from black-skinned people who arrived from the south and southeast, bearing spears made of a metal called guanin, an alloy of gold, silver, and copper. And as you know, not only is guanin the same name used by multiple West African nations for gold, but when these spears were tested, they had the exact same composition as the spears made in Africa. I wonder how historians explain this one. Oh, right, they don't. Because even though it is in the Journal of Columbus himself.
So in Christopher Columbus's journal, when he got to, I think it was Cuba or Dominican Republic, all of that was an island anyway, but when he got down there, he said he met melanated people and they had these spears with guanin on it, right? Made of guanin. For those who don't know what it is, we're gonna end that right here after this. Well, y'all, unless y'all want to, y'all gotta let me know. Oh, guanin. Let me take the E off. All right, here we go. Boom. So we gotta stop sharing. Boom. Go share this. Frank Nitty, y'all gotta let me know if y'all want to finish watching it. It's about 8 minutes left. But what is guanin? So there are multiple matches for guanin, including a chemical compound in DNA and RNA and an alloy used in pre-Columbian Central America, right? Guanin was an alloy of copper, gold, and silver used in pre-Columbian Central America. It was valued for its reddish color, shine, and smell, and was associated with supernatural and worldly power. The Taino people named it guanin, and it was also Taguaga and Tumbanga. But it's also was it Malinke or the Mandinke's, let me see which ones that was. Guanin means in Malinke. Was it Malinke? Mandinka. I think it's Mandingo. Let me see. It's the same thing. Guanin is a purine-based C5 that codes genetic information in a polynucleotide chain of DNA, RNA. Guanin means, hold on. Guanin is same shit. All right, but that's cool. Did y'all want to watch the what you call it? Y'all trying to go?
We can finish it up.
All right, let's go. We're gonna go with it, man. Oh yeah, it's 10 minutes. Oh, y'all can't see my
Balboa reported encountering African men in Panama. These individuals were said to be captives of a local chief, leading to further speculation about African presence in the Americas prior to European arrival. And where there are captives, there is a war. Where there is a war, there is a nation. Did you know that documented in the journals of Columbus himself, there is clear account of Africans having already made the voyage to the Americas? And it is from these African sailors and traders that Columbus and the Portuguese would learn to build deep seaworthy ships and learn how to navigate to the Americas.
And there he learned from the Portuguese, who were moving across Africa, who had set up the first fort among Europeans in Africa, that African sailors had actually crossed over the Western Ocean and had found a land mass in the south. This was not what Columbus had found. Columbus found islands, which are now known as the Caribbean islands, but he had not gone on to continental mass. The Africans had found the actual continental mass. And the Portuguese insisted that this continental mass in the south was 370 leagues, which is about 15 to 1600 miles away, according to whether you count the league as 4 or 4.5. They were.
And all over Africa, prior to the arrival of the Europeans, there was a vibrant and diverse shipbuilding industry. And with those ships, they went everywhere, literally everywhere. But this is, again, not reported in contemporary media and history books.
There is a profound misunderstanding of African capacity. The Africans had ships. This is one of them. This is in East Africa. This ship, this is just a model which I found in Fort Mombasa in Kenya. This ship is a 70-tonner. Ships like these in the 13th century before Columbus took elephants to China. European shipping is not even European. The sail Columbus used comes out of the Arab-African world. The astrolabe comes out of the Arab-African world. They found in the desert before Columbus, in the period before Columbus, the Africans were using compasses and nautical instruments to navigate the desert.
The many elephant motifs in Mesoamerican art present a problem for the current historical narrative, given that elephants were not native to the Americas during the periods when these cultures flourished. This anomaly is immediately solved when, number one comes to know that the West Africans had seaworthy ships. Number two, that their ships were more than capable of transporting very large cargo like elephants and giraffes, as documented by the Chinese. And number three, the documented accounts of West Africans making the voyage well before and during the time of Columbus. From this seeding, civilization started to spread throughout the Americas at a frantic rate. LiDAR imagery has shown that all over Central and South America, complex civilizations propping up all over. Megastructures indicative of very large population centers, very well organized, are being found. All of them, now lost to the jungle after disease from the European invaders, wiped out a whole continent, causing collapse after collapse. Really, a great loss to humanity, a humanity that has not recovered from being an intentional destruction of historical artifacts, pointing to a truth that would be too inconvenient for the powers that be. And so, the cover-up continues where evidence is now painted as similarities and coincidences. Where famous pyramids suddenly appear in Mesoamerica in the same time frame when the Africans from the Nubio-Kemetic civilization complex are shown to be present.
Attention retirees, if you're willing to be at your computer from 9 a.m. to 10:45 a.m.
Is that the same place and the same time these heads and skeletons and clay portraits appear with Africoid type hair and features and helmets, you have things suddenly occurring in the American world that do not occur before. The first pyramid is built in America in that period. It appears on the very same religious platform where the Africoid heads are found. For the first time, the Americans are making these huge statues when before they were making small things largely out of clay. For the first time, they're working in monumental stone.
Also, the first time in their history, the Americans are suddenly moving massive blocks of stones downriver and working them to an uncanny precision. No one in history had mastered this, except the African, in the Nubio-Kemetic civilization. And yet it appears overnight, in Mesoamerica, at the same time that Black African skeletal remains, and Black African pottery, and Black African writing methodology happen to all emerge simultaneously in Olmec country. And in that same time period, the Mesoamerican starts to practice skull deformation, a practice from Kemet at the time, as you can see from the depiction of the son of Pharaoh Amenephis IV.
Yeah,
in that same time period, the Mesoamericans start to incorporate the corbelled vault arches in their architecture. On the right, you can see the picture of a corbelled vault arch from the Red Pyramid near Giza. In the Aztec Codex, one can find a very particular smiting pose depicting a warrior grasping the hair of a submissive captive. On the right, the Narmer palette depicts a pharaoh smiting the enemy. See for yourself. In the Codex Borgia, from south-central Mexico, we can see an initiation scene with baptism by water. On the right, an ancient Egyptian scene from the Temple of Esna, depicting an initiation through baptism by water. The twin serpent motifs, showing up in Aztec and ancient Egyptian iconography. I am sure this is all a coincidence, too. The Mayan half-jaguar and the Egyptian sphinx, both of them sporting the same paws. The sacred Tau cross found in both Mesoamerica and ancient Egypt. To attribute all these cultural similarities to chance is to be wholly dishonest of the truth, especially in the face of genetic, skeletal, archaeological, religious, writing, and mathematic evidence. Oh, and the Tau cross also shows up in Göbekli Tepe. And the similarities go on and on and on, all of them pointing to the same origin, the Black Africans from the Nubio-Kemetic civilization as the initial wave of civilization influence in Mesoamerica, and the multiple subsequent waves from the same stock, but this time from West Africa. Bring our truth,
real quick, man.
the missing piece in the history of man.
They already up 180,000 subs. Real good. Look at them Afro-Latina. So yeah, man. Salute to everybody who hung around. Let me tell y'all something, because I know y'all don't. Me and Yael had this conversation. Me and Scandalous had this conversation. YouTube doesn't pay much, so we appreciate all the donations that we get, and YouTube takes a part. But y'all see, I be putting the Cash App there now. I'm not going to continue doing content that's just going to get me a bunch of views. I want the views. That little $500, $600, $700 every month helps on bills. But I want to make sure I'm putting out great content, and I don't care about the views. I don't care if it's 500 or if it's 500,000. As long as I can live with the content that we bring into the people. You know what I'm saying? As we continue to evolve this platform as the voice of the community, being educational, teaching, being able to dialogue. This is a conversation that we're having. That's why we want to start bringing up other YouTubers, on the panel for certain topics. That's why, specifically, if that's kind of their genre and their strong point, we can learn something. I'm a student of life. I don't have all the answers, right? But bear with us. I know that y'all probably like, damn, they had almost 200 people in there now. It's only 63 people got lives. I understand that. But for those that are still interested and that do stay around when we're doing these type of things, man, appreciate it. We got some content coming from y'all, though. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, the hip hop police, nigga. Shout out my nigga Scandalous Los Angeles TV. Shout out to the Henny Gang. Shout out to the Henny Snipers. Shout out to Smoked Out TV. The team is working. We got something big for y'all. And I think it's going to be like 11, 12-day marathon. Flaming shit up around this funky joint. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely going to be on entertainment. We're definitely going to be bringing y'all that content. But you can guarantee it's going to be trickled down with a lot more quality content, subject matter. Yeah, you want to take us out, bro?
Man, listen, y'all done set through another dope, edified lesson and exposing. You know, you got Fat Joe the hoe. I mean, you know who he is. At the end of the day, man, listen, facts is facts. Can't be mad at
We
that.
got a super chat before you close it out. Hold on.
Oh, hold on. We got
to go all the way down.
Oh, who was that? Gold Digger with the $20 super chat. Great live, teachable moment. Brings about good conversation with the fire emojis and the doves. Loves Gold Digger. We appreciate you, sis. We appreciate any and everything that is given and donated to the Damu Kiwe Conversation team. Thank you. Bless you to your tribe and your family and anybody that's dealing with you. Bless you, sister, on behalf of the Damu Kiwe Conversations.
Go ahead back where you was at, brother. I appreciate that too, Queen. She was looking good too. But
Gold Digger, Damu Kiwe Conversation.
Go ahead, Money Grip. What up?
Man, we appreciate y'all sitting through this live. We know the lessons be long, but y'all stand strong with us. And again, man, the facts is facts. You can't be mad at that, man. Fat Joe, like the chat said, fuck your apology, man. We standing on business over here. Do Sims, Bremen, appreciate that, brother, for code down the content. Salute to the guests that came in. Salute to you, brother. Salute to everybody that's on Clubhouse that stayed in. Salute in the chat. Y'all know that's where it's at. Salute to the mods. They always on their job, man, and everybody who supported. Salute to the live. Everybody that was in the chat, y'all already know that's where that's at. And the Blue Wrench mob that stay on their job and our valid supporters that's always supporting Damu Kiwe Conversations, man. We appreciate you guys, man. Listen, Damu Kiwe Conversations on Instagram. Make sure you guys follow that. Active Chucks and OTGIL. Make sure you guys tap in, tell a friend, like, share the content. Again, you've been in here with Do Sims the Don, Yael, the Kiwe pop star. This has been another hot edition of Damu Kiwe Conversations.
Yes,
All right.
Ooh, y'all. Oh, yeah.
All right, we out of here. Let me take us out.
Salute.
Boom.